And Times Network has accessed more information on the Enforcement Directorate raids on Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi's nephew. As per sources, nearly 10 crores in cash has been recovered during these raids, out of which around 7.9 crores were recovered from Channi's nephew Bhupinder Singh Honey's house in Mohali. The ED will be questioning Bhupinder Singh, aka Honey, and his two close associates about the source of the seized cash, and all three are under the scanner now for money laundering. ED also suspects that shell companies were being used to carry out illegal sand mining operations. Remember, the Enforcement Directorate has filed an FIR linked to illegal sand mining, basis which these raids were conducted. My colleague Bhavtosh now joins me on the broadcast. Bhavtosh, now we hear of shell companies' involvement that this case has been linked to, and there'll be more questioning that's going to be happening. What more can you tell us in this particular case? It's growing to be more and more interesting by the day.
Kriha, there was a political war of words yesterday. As soon as the raid started, Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Channi said that it's a political tactic that is used always by the centre. They said it happened when Mamata Banerjee was campaigning during West Bengal elections, and her relatives were also raided and searched by the Enforcement Directorate and Income Tax. And Rahul Gandhi also tweeted and said that Enforcement Directorate is always used during elections. Soon after that, Enforcement Directorate issued a statement and said that around 6 crore rupees have been seized during the raids and searches, 4 crore rupees from the residence of Bhupinder Singh Honey. Now, that amount, in fact, has gone up. Now, sources said that 7.9 crore rupees have been seized during raids and searches. Total amount that has been seized from Punjab stands at around 9.9 crore rupees. It's but obvious that Enforcement Directorate would be questioning Bhupinder Singh Honey and his two associates. Now, this company that is under scanner goes by the name of Providers Overseas Consultants. This company was set up in October 2018. Soon after, there was an FIR that was registered by Punjab Police. Now, this FIR pertains to illegal mining. Three persons, in fact, set up this company: Kudratdeep Singh, Bhupinder Singh, and also Sandeep Kumar. The two persons yesterday were searched, Sandeep Kumar and Bhupinder Singh. 2 crore rupees was seized from the residence of Sandeep Kumar, and around 7.9 crore rupees was seized from residence of Bhupinder Singh. Now, all three will be called in by the Enforcement Directorate, and it's being said that the company that was set up in Chandigarh was a shell company primarily set up to do laundering of illegal money. Now, ED has said that they suspect that several shell companies were involved not only in illegal mining, but also in money laundering purpose.
Right. Bhavtosh, thank you so much for joining me with all those details. Let's also tell the viewers what really is this case that we are tracking on the channel. This is the raids that were conducted on Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi's kin, Bhupinder Singh Honey, and also now his two close associates are currently under scanner, and they also under scanner for money laundering. We'd have to wait and watch what really happens, whether a case is now registered under PMLA also. The Enforcement Directorate, in fact, suspects that shell companies were being used to carry out illegal sand mining operations. Now, there was an FIR that was lodged related to Charanjit Singh Channi's nephew. A team comprising of officials of the mining department, civil administration, and police department made a surprise check at Honey's residence, and these raids, in fact, were conducted over there. I'm also now joined on the broadcast by Mr. Hemant Atri, senior journalist. Mr. Atri, thank you so much for joining me. Now, as Bhavtosh also was telling us about these raids and the possible involvement of shell companies in the case now coming to fore, we also know that possibly, money laundering and a case under money laundering might just be registered. We'd have to wait and watch what really happens there. What more can you tell us about this particular case?
See, Greha, as far as these kind of raids are concerned, if you go back right from, say, about last 3 or 4 years, it has become a standard operating procedure everywhere. Every election going state, and all political opponents, in one way or other, they are hounded by these agencies. If you go to West Bengal, to Uttar Pradesh, to so many other places, Andhra Pradesh, Tamil Nadu, Everywhere it has been happening. And if you see the fate of all these cases, what happens afterwards? Nothing at all. At least I have gone through at least 8 cases in different states wherein such raids were conducted just on the eve of elections. And after that, there is no further development in any of those cases. That includes West Bengal, Tamil Nadu, Andhra, and so many other states. So here again, the same old book is being played, and I don't find nothing great about it. For the very simple reason, this case pertains to
Okay.
2018. 2018. There are certain questions. See, if somebody has committed a wrong, it must be interrogated, it must be investigated. There is no doubt about it. But once you see the timings of these raids, it always creates a suspicion. That is my point. If at all he has done something wrong, it should be
Right.
looked into immediately afterwards. Why after 3 years? Why now? That again is a question which needs to be looked into. That is the precise question.
Absolutely. And, Mr. Atri, the fact that the Congress party unanimously is going ahead and questioning this very fact. We just had Rahul Gandhi tweet about the fact that there is a political vendetta at play here. We had the Punjab Chief Minister, Charanjit Singh Channi, who had mentioned about this particular thing yesterday itself after these raids were conducted. So this is something that the Congress party is actually going all guns blazing on, against the BJP and also these raids conducted by the central agencies.
Grihaji, it's not a question of Congress or X or Y. This is basically becoming a standard operating procedure. If you go to Tamil Nadu, what happened there just on the eve of elections? What happened in Andhra? What happened in West Bengal? It is basically, a sequence of events playing. And let me tell you one thing. These kind of gimmicks, whatever they are, now people are not affected by these things. There are two things. Once you raid such political opponents, you think that you will be creating a particular kind of atmosphere against them. That is not going to work. It didn't work anyway till now. Second thing is, you are basically drying up the coffers of your opponents. That to that extent they might be successful. But the question is, why only the main political opponents are raided? Are not other political parties having this kind of money? All of them are having this kind of money. But they are certainly pointing towards main opposition parties everywhere. If you go to West Bengal, it was TMC. If you go to Tamil Nadu, it was DMK. No, not their allies. That is the question. And people understand these gimmicks now. Central agencies should also think of their credibility.
Okay.
That is my point.
Absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Hemant Atri, for joining me on the broadcast. These are details that we are tracking on the channel as far as the raids that were conducted on Punjab Chief Minister Charanjit Singh Channi's nephew, Bhupinder Singh Honey. And we'd get to know what really happens in this particular case.